Good morning to all. This is Anil Kumar Reddy. In this video, I am going to start second unit, and in second unit, we will be looking into two-port networks first. Then we will go to locus diagrams of RL and RC circuits, and finally, we are going to look into the synthesis part. Okay. So first video is based on will be based on two-port networks. Okay. So let us look into a two-port network first, and we will understand the basic concepts of two-port networks. Okay, so two-port network means, so in order to understand first two-port network, first you need to understand what is a network. As I told you already, network means it is a combination of elements. Here on the screen, first we will discuss what is a one-port network first. So one-port network means, first, we will be talking about a port. Port means a pair of terminals is known as port. Here you can see two terminals where current is entering at port 1 and it is leaving port 1 dash. Okay. So you call it as a port. Okay. You call it as a port. A pair of terminals is known as a port. Pair of terminals in the sense one positive terminal and one negative terminal. And the amount of current entering the network will be same when it is leaving the network, and we don't know what will be there in the network. As for now, we don't know what will be there in the network. Just consider it as a black box in the sense you don't know what would be the network present inside the box. But when you look on outside, there is some voltage applied across the network and there is a current flowing through the network. Okay, so this one port network means it has a pair of terminals. So you call it as a one port network. So now we will be looking into a two port network. So here it is the two port network. So two port network means it has four terminals, or you can say two pairs of terminals. Okay. So here one port or a pair of terminals is taken as input port and other two terminals are taken as output port. Okay, so here the voltage designated for the input port is, let us say, V1. V1 is the voltage that is designated to port 1. Similarly, we have numbered or given names to each terminal. So here positive terminal is termed as 1 and the negative terminal is termed as 1 dash. Okay, and let us say current I1 is entering the network, and through current I1 is entering the network through one terminal. Okay, and it is leaving the network at 1 dash terminal. Okay, similarly on the other side we call it as output port. Okay, at output port, let us say the voltage is V2. Also, it has two terminals. One terminal is 2 and the other terminal is 2 dash. Okay. Also, you have to assume a current I2 which is entering the network through the port 2 and it is leaving the network through the port I2 dash. Okay. So, this is called a two port network. So, the one port network means a network that has a pair of terminals. A pair of terminals is known as one port network, and a network that has two pairs of terminals is known as two port network. Okay. So now we know what is a one port network and what is a two port network. Now we will be looking into the most basic concepts, that is parameters. So we have so many types of parameters in electrical engineering for a two-port network. But in our syllabus, we will only look into Z parameters and Y parameter. Okay, let us see what is a Z parameter. So here, Z parameter is also known as impedance parameter or open circuit parameter. Suppose when you take a two-port network like this, okay, so you are taking a two-port network like this. As I told you already, what is a two-port network? So when V1 voltage is applied across the input port and V2 is applied across the output port, and current I1 is entering through one terminal, through uh, terminal 1, okay, and it is leaving through terminal 1 dash. Similarly, current I2 is entering the network through terminal 2 and it is leaving the network through terminal 2 dash. Okay, this is how you have to assume. So now when a two port network is taken, you can write impedances in so many ways here. Here particularly you can write in four ways. First one, impedance means according to Ohm's law we can write Z is equal to V by I. Okay, here Z is equal to V by I, therefore we call it as impedance. Okay, so here you can write V1 by I1, that is one impedance. So V1 by I1 is called as Z11. Similarly, Z11. Similarly, you can write V2 by I2. You call it as Z22. And there is other impedance, that is Z12. Z12 means V1 by I2 and Z21 V2 by I2. So you have four types of impedances that will be derived from a two port network for impedance parameters. Okay. Now, in order to understand these impedance parameters, what we are going to do is we are going to express input voltage V1 and output voltage V2 in terms of impedances with the help of currents. So they are called as characteristic equations. Okay. So the characteristic equations of impedance parameters or Z parameters can be seen on the screen as you can see. So V1 is expressed in terms of impedances Z11 and Z12 using the currents I1 and I2. That will be taken as equation 1. Similarly, V2 is taken as Z21 and Z22 with the help of currents I1 and I2. So these equations are called as characteristic equations of Z parameters or characteristic equations of impedance parameters, or you can say characteristic equations of open circuit parameters. Okay, now let us see what is a open circuit parameter. So why we are calling it as open circuit parameter means while we are calculating Z11 and Z21, we are going to open circuit the output port. So we will get two parameters Z11 and Z21 when the output port is open circuited. When the input port is open circuited and voltage is applied across the output port, then you will get Z12 as well as Z22. So you have four types of parameters in Z parameters. They are Z11, Z12, Z21 and Z22. So here Z11 means you have a name for that. It is input driving point impedance. Z11 means input driving point impedance. Okay. And Z12 is output transfer impedance. So Z12 means output transfer impedance. Z21 is input transfer impedance. And Z22 is called as output driving point impedance. So these are the names of each parameter. Okay. Now, so as I told you already, in order to get Z11 and Z21, I2 must be 0. I2 means output current must be 0. So output current, if you want to make output current 0, you have to open circuit the output port. Similarly, if you want to have Z12 and Z22, then you have to make the input port open circuited. Therefore, I1 becomes 0. So that is why you call these as open circuit parameter or impedance parameter or simply Z parameter. Now let us take a numerical problem on this. So you have to find Z parameter for this network. So a T network is given. T network means it is nothing but a star network. A star network is given. So each of which have impedances, or you can say resistances. Okay. So 10 ohm resistance here. So series arm means on the top. Series arm will have 10 ohm resistance and shunt arm is having 20 ohm resistance. First, what we will do is, as I told you already, if you want to find Z11 and Z21, you have to open circuit the output port. That's what we have done here. So we have connected a voltage source at input port, but we have open circuited the output port. As you can see, there is no voltage across the output port, voltage source across the output port. Here, here the voltage will be V2. Okay, since the current is not flowing through this path, so as you can, I will show you. So there is no path for current to flow here. There is no path for current. Therefore, the only path for current is here. So here you have a path for current, and that current is I1. Okay. So here what you have to do is you have to apply KVL. I will show you how to apply. Okay. So you have to apply KVL. So here you can see, so output port is open circuited. So there is no possibility of current flowing through output port. Okay. So also, so there is a only possibility of flowing current is through this path. So I1 is flowing through this path. So when you apply KVL, then you can write V1 or minus V1 plus 10 into I1, okay, 10 into I1 plus 20 into I1 equal to 0. So this is the equation you will get. So when you add these two, 10 I1 and 20 I1, you will get 30 I1. So V1 is equal to, you can write V1 is equal to 30 by, 30 into I1. Okay, 30 into I1. So when you want to write Z11, then you have to write V1 by I1. Therefore, instead of V1, we will substitute 30 I1 by, already you have one I1. So this I1 and I1 gets cancelled, then you will be remained with 30 ohms. So that is how you have to find Z11. Okay. So next, so when the output port is open circuited, you can also find the other parameter, that is V2. Sorry, Z21. Z21 means V2 by I1. Now you can see here, you know what is V1? V1 means input voltage. V2 means output voltage. Even though if you have open circuited the output port, still you have some voltage V2. And there is no current flowing through this 10 ohm resistor. Therefore, V2 will be appeared across 20 ohm resistor. So which means V2 is equal to voltage across 20 ohm resistor. So here, what is the voltage across 20 ohm resistor? Using Ohm's law, V2 is equal to resistance into current. So resistance is 20 and current is I1. So 20 into I1 is the V2. Therefore, if you substitute 20 I1 here, 20 I1 by I1, that will give you 20 ohms. So that is the other parameter, Z21. Okay. So this is how, you can find Z11 as well as Z21 by open circuiting the output port. Okay. So now what we will do is, we will try to open circuit the input port. As you can see on the diagram, you have open circuited the input port. Okay. So you have open circuited the input port and the output port is taken with voltage V2. So in a similar fashion, by applying KVL, so let us say current direction is like this. Okay, in a similar fashion, you can find Z22 and Z12. Okay, so this is how you have to find. So this is how you have to find Z22 and Z12. So when a T network is given, simply to say in a shortcut method, I will tell you. For example, if you want to find Z11, you have to add, see here, you have to add this impedance and this impedance. Okay, Z11 is equal to 10 plus 20, that will be 30. When you want to find Z22, then you have to add this 10 ohm resistor and this 20 ohm impedance. Therefore, that will give you Z22. And if you want to find Z12 or Z21, okay, directly you can write this 20 ohm resistor. Z12 is equal to Z21 is equal to 20. And this is applicable only for T network or star network. But when a pi network is given, what you have to do is we have to convert that pi network into T network using star delta transformation. Then you can directly write the answers for Z11, Z22, Z12 and Z21. So that is how you can find impedance parameters when any network is given. Okay, next we will be looking into admittance parameters. So admittance parameter means, here you can see, when a two-port network is taken again, which has terminals 1 dash on the left side or input side and 2 dash on the right side, that is output side, and the output voltage is V2 and the input voltage is V1. As I told you already, for impedance parameters, what we have done, we have expressed voltages in terms of current and impedance like this. Okay, but here in order to find admittance parameters, what you have to do is you have to express currents in terms of voltages and admittances like this. Okay, so these equations are called as characteristic equations of admittance parameters or Y parameters. Also, you can call them as short circuit parameters. Okay, so now what we will do is, you can see, so the same admittance characteristic equations can be represented in the form of a matrix. Also, you can represent for Z parameters also, there is no problem. Okay, here Y11 you will get four types of admittances just like impedances. Y11, Y12, Y21 and Y22. Okay, when if you want to determine these parameters, what you have to do is you have to short circuit. If you want to determine Y11 and Y21, then you have to short circuit the output port. And similarly, if you want to determine Y12 and Y22, then you have to short circuit the input port. So you are short circuiting to find these parameters now. Therefore, you call these parameters as short circuit parameters or admittance parameters. Okay, or simply Y parameters. Okay, so we can determine these values by making short circuit. So you call them as short circuit parameters. Here in this network, you can see the output port is short circuited. Okay, which means voltage V2 will become 0, but there is some current I2. Okay, so when V2 is 0, then you can find, simply you just substitute V2 equal to 0 in this characteristic equation. Okay, in this characteristic equation, so here you have to substitute V2 equal to 0. When this value becomes 0, then you can write Y11 is equal to I1 by V1. Therefore, you can find one value. Similarly, if you substitute V2 equal to 0 in equation 4, then you can find Y21, that is I2 by V1. So that's what we have done here. So we have taken a two-port network and we have short circuited the output port, which makes V2 0. Therefore, we can find Y11. Similarly, you can find Y21. And in order to find other two Y parameters, that is Z12 and Z21, you have to short circuit the input port. So here you have short circuited the input port and you have applied some current here. So now what will happen is this V1 will become 0 because the voltage across short circuit is always 0. So when V1 is becoming 0 and when you are substituting these V1 equal to 0 at characteristic equation, okay, so when you are substituting here, these two values will become 0. Then you can find y12 as y12 is equal to I1 by V2. Similarly, y22 is equal to I2 by V2. That is how you are going to find admittance parameters when the network is given. Okay, and also you have names for these admittances. Okay, so first y11 is called short circuit input admittance, or you can say input admittances. Okay, driving point input admittance. Okay, next y12 is called as transfer impedance from the output port to input port, which means reverse transfer impedance. You can call it as also reverse transfer admittance, sorry. Okay, so reverse transfer admittance. And y21 is called as forward transfer admittance. So y21 is called as forward transfer admittance. If you want to say it clearly, then you have to say short circuit transfer admittance from input port to output port. But in short, we can say it as forward transfer admittance. Okay. Similarly, Y22 is called as output driving point admittance, or simply you can call it as short circuit output admittance. So these are the names of these admittances. Just we have names for impedances also. Okay. Now the question is, when a problem is given to find y parameters, then you can do one thing. If you know the relation between z and y, then you can easily find y parameter if you know how to find the z parameter. Okay, so when y parameters are asked to find, if you know how to find z parameters, you can easily find y parameters also. How to do it, that I will tell you. Okay, so here you can see the equations of y parameters. Okay, and you take equations for z parameters also. So you write it in matrix form. Okay, so instead of, what we are doing is, instead of y parameters we are writing, so I1 is equal to, normally we will write I1 is equal to y11 v1 plus y12 v2. But here what we are doing is, instead of y11 and y12, we are taking inverse. Inverse means matrix inverse here. Okay, so instead of y matrix we are taking z inverse matrix. Both are same. Okay, so if you want to find y parameters from the given network, first you find z parameters, then you find the matrix inverse. Obviously you will get the y parameters. So that is how you can find y parameters for any network. if you know how to find Z parameters. Also, you can calculate directly using the normal method, that is short circuiting the output port. You will find Y11 and Y21, and short circuiting the input port you will find Y22 and Y12. So that is how you can find these Y parameters when the network is given to find. Okay, so this is how you can find Z parameters or Y parameters. Okay, when for in some examples they will give you a pi network. It is difficult to find Y parameters or Z parameters for a pi network. So what you have to do, try to convert that pi network into a star network, then find Z parameters. After finding Z parameters, then you have to find Y inverse for that Z matrix. That's it. Then you have the answer for Y parameters. So if in the question, if Y parameters are asked and pi network is given, then what you have to do? You have to convert that pi network into a T network using star delta transformation. After that, you have to find Z parameters. Once you got Z parameters, you just find the inverse of Z parameter matrix. Then you will get all Y parameters. Okay. So for a 2 by 2 matrix, this is how you have to find inverse. So this is how you have to find inverse. So y11 is equal to z2. So y11, y12, y21 and y22 is equal to z22 minus z12 minus z21 z11 by delta z, where delta z is equal to z11 into z22. So once you got Z parameters, you can always find Y parameters. Also, you can do vice versa. If you can find Y parameters and if he is asking to find Z parameters, you just do inverse. So Z inverse is equal to Y or Y inverse is equal to Z. So in next video, we will be looking into locus diagrams of series RL and RC circuits. Okay. So this is about two port networks, Z parameters and Y parameters. Okay, thank you.